Have you ever checked into a hotel, get all settled in your room and think, this isn't good, I gotta get out of here? That's what happened to us, and I wasn't sure how it was all going to end. Stick around and we'll show you the story. We were scouting out a place to live once we had to quit traveling all the time, and so we were in Payson, Arizona. It has a hospital, but for specialty care, it was an hour and a half drive into the city. Last year, I had missed my skin cancer treatment. It's called PDT, photodynamic therapy, and it's actually with a blue light. And so this time I wasn't going to miss it. Okay, I missed my last PDT, photodynamic therapy, for skin cancer because I had 2 surgeries last year when we were here in Phoenix. And so I wasn't going to miss it this year. So I made an appointment, and we were going to drive down and drive back. The photodynamic therapy feels like little needles poking in your face. First, they apply this medicine on your face. You incubate for 90 minutes. You mean you just sit and let it soak. And then you go into the blue light for 16 minutes. And then for the next 48 hours, you can't go out into the sunlight. I had an appointment at 8:30 in the morning on Friday, and Mike remembered that we had hotel points left at the Hyatt. And he couldn't find any campsites available at McDowell Regional Park where he wanted to do some mountain biking. So he suggested that we go down on Thursday, ride our mountain bikes, and then stay at the Hyatt. And then we could just drive over to the doctor's office in the morning. He could run his errands and I could get my treatment, and then we just drive back up into the mountains again. And it seemed like a great idea. We had had such a good time mountain biking, and we were pretty grungy. So when we got to the Hyatt place, we took a shower and laid down and took a nap for a little while. I got up to make some hot tea because they had it on the counter. And this is what I found, a loaded syringe. I don't know if it was somebody's medicine or somebody had been doing drugs. I told Mike, don't touch that syringe. We don't know what's in there. I went down to the front desk and told the front desk that we needed somebody to come and get that syringe out of there. We didn't know what to do with it, and we weren't going to touch it. Well, 20 minutes later, nobody came. The lady at the front desk said that she had called someone to come, but I could see she was new. So after 20 minutes, Mike and I both went down to the desk. She looked pretty frazzled, and I said, we need a different room. The more I thought about it, the more that I realized if there were drugs in that syringe, the couch that we were sitting on, would that have something in it? Or would it be on the floor? I didn't know what was good. And you know how your head can start playing games on you? So she looked frazzled. There was a line behind us. I wasn't being ugly. And she said she would call somebody. And I said, yeah, I'm not comfortable staying in a room that somebody might have been doing drugs in, just to kind of help her along. And so she took her phone and walked away from us. And I said, she told us that she didn't have any more rooms. So we stepped aside, and she was kind of dawdling around. So I just started telling Mike in front of the other people so she would have an incentive to do something to help us. I said, Mike, I'm not comfortable staying in a room if somebody was having a drug party in it. And so she finally walked away with the phone. She called the manager and the housekeeping. But she told us there were no other rooms available, which I probably thought might have been true because it was spring training and then it was a weekend almost. It was Thursday, and the parking lot was pretty full. But suddenly she goes, well, I only have 2 queens and you have a king-size bed. I said, that's fine. We just want out of that room. And suddenly she had a king-size bed after she talked to her manager. So we went up to she gave us the keys to a new room. We went up to our room and started gathering our stuff up, and the manager and the housekeeper showed up. They go, oh, so you're the people who want a new room? And I said, Yes, we're not comfortable, and we're just going up. And what would you do? Your mind starts playing games on you. I start thinking, what if there's medicine in the carpet and we're walking on it? You can think of all these things. I really appreciate our little travel trailer and that we don't have to stay in hotel rooms since we travel so much. But let us know in the comments below what you would do in this situation. Would you just stay there once they clean the place up a little bit, or would you pay the extra money? Fortunately, we didn't have to, and I don't know what we would have done. The prices of the hotel had gone up to $270 a night, which I can't imagine, because it was spring break and spring training for baseball. Riding our bikes in McDowell Regional Park is a favorite thing for us to do in the winter time, and we'll show you a little bit about it. But I'll also put a link to the full video up above.
Woo!
We sure appreciate you coming along.
Woo!
There she goes.
Yeah, it will jar you. Down below, maybe. Woo! Made it.